Okay, so next we are going to begin how we create our animal that will go on top of our print that we just created. So we're going to do another method of printmaking, and this is called subtractive printmaking. So first and foremost, you're going to get a piece of scrap paper and you're going to draw your animal. So I chose to draw mine from the side. That's called a profile view. So here's my elephant. And now I need to get a piece of styrofoam. So styrofoam is like this. It kind of looks like, you know, maybe if you get takeout from a restaurant, they put it in a styrofoam box. This is styrofoam, and this is great for printmaking. So I'm actually going to lay the styrofoam down, and I'm going to lay my piece of paper on the top, and I'm going to take a pen, and I'm going to draw over my drawing here. And this is so it leaves a mark on the styrofoam. So you want to press down. It doesn't matter if your pen works or not. You really are just using it for the pressure. So I can feel the styrofoam underneath this paper being carved as I'm doing this. Now you could do this with a pencil. I like a pen. And I'm actually, at some points, I'm actually ripping the paper here. And that's okay, because it's just our sketch. Now you don't want to press too hard, though, that you're going straight through the styrofoam. You don't want to go all the way through it. Okay, so I lift it up, and you can see that my drawing has been carved onto the styrofoam. Now I notice some parts are not deep enough, so I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to carve a little deeper. And the way you tell, just kind of put your finger over it. It's kind of easy to tell what is light and what is heavier carved. And again, it doesn't matter if the pen is actually working, we just need the carving. Alright, so it all seems pretty good to me here. Now I could print with just this, but I'm actually going to want to cut out my elephant here. So the goal is, though, you don't want to cut on the line. You actually want to cut like a little out from the line. So I'm just going to draw with my pen here the line that I want to cut. Okay, and I'll follow that. And you don't want that to be too far out from the actual animal. So you kind of just want to give it a little border there. Now, you got to be super careful with this, so really take your time. Notice it was getting a little weird for me to cut right up there, so now I'm just coming back in from the bottom. And I'm cutting. So here is my elephant. So now what I need to do is get some ink on it. So you want to get a placemat. And I'm going to use black ink because I think black ink is going to show up the best. The ink that I have right now is in this big container. You might get a tube. It kind of looks like toothpaste. If it's in this big container, all you do is get a popsicle stick and put some onto a tray like this. You know, you don't want too much, you don't want too little, so I'm going to do 2 scoops. And then you take this, your brayer, and you want to roll that ink. You know the ink is ready when it starts to crackle. You'll hear a little crackling sound. And make sure your entire brayer is covered. And you're going to roll the ink on your animal. Like so. Okay, so I had to use kind of the corner of my brayer to get in by the eye because that was such a tiny little shape. Okay, So now what we do, we take our other print and choose which way you want it, and you're going to print this on. Now I drew it facing this way. When I flip it over, it's going to be facing the other way. So if you notice on mine, this right here is the straight line. I wanted this to line up with the corner. So I'm going to lay it over here. And then you want to press down. So I'm holding it with my left hand. I'm using my other hand to gently rub. And I'm doing it in a circular motion. You got to make sure you're holding it down though so it doesn't accidentally move on you. You want to keep it nice and flat. Okay, so now I've just switched hands. Now I'm rubbing with my left hand and I'm holding it down with my right. Longer than you ever think you need to, just to make sure it's gonna stick and look pretty. Okay, so now you want to peel it up. And there you see, I've made a print of my elephant. Now the cool thing about this, I can use this again. So if I have another piece of paper, I can print again, which is super fun. I could keep doing this over and over and over again. That's the beauty of printmaking. Super fun to play around with. Okay, so this is how you create a styrofoam print. It's called subtractive printmaking of an animal.